Welcome back to the Breaking Down Walls podcast. I'm Jill Barrile, founder of Bare By Barrile, intimacy coach and boudoir photographer. I'm here with my co-host, Natalie Kartmeyer, trauma-informed somatic coach and yoga instructor. This is the Breaking Down Walls podcast, where we question the rules, challenge the norms, and talk about the things that most people avoid. Today, we're diving into something people are very curious about, but don't always talk about: strip clubs, exotic dancing, the energy, the allure, and the reality behind it. Because from the outside, it can look empowering, sexy, even glamorous. But what's actually happening inside that world? Today, we're joined by my friend Mo, who lived it on stage, behind the bar, and behind the scenes, and is now creating something entirely different. This conversation gets into power dynamics, consent, the male gaze, and what it actually means for a woman to feel safe, empowered, and in control of her body. So let's break down some walls. Hey, Nat.
Hey, girl.
Welcome back to the Breaking Down Walls podcast. We're back. We're here again.
Oh, yes. Which walls are we breaking down today?
Today, we're going to be talking about all things strip clubs.
Ooh la la.
I know. I'm excited for this one.
Me too.
Mostly because I don't know anything about this world at all, to be honest. How about you? Do you know anything about the strip club world?
Only just as a patron of, going in as a customer and just enjoying the vibe, I guess.
Yeah.
In general, I'm very in awe of what exotic dancers can do. And I think it'll be interesting to talk to your friend today about how she feels about the word stripper.
Yeah.
Or if she prefers dancer or, there's different things. But I've been to two different types of strip clubs in my life. The first was an all-female strip club. And then the other type was an all-male strip club, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the male strip club was definitely both of them are for the male gaze. And so.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So both times I've gone and I've been, either the only woman or one of two women in this space.
Yeah.
So it's been very interesting to experience both genders.
Ooh, that is super interesting. I've never been to a male strip club actually before, for either for women or for men actually. So interesting. I would say I've only gone to strip clubs maybe less than 5 times. In my whole life. So it's been pretty minimal.
So too, actually.
So I don't have like a really hard take on it, to be honest. I've had enjoyable experiences where it's been fun and interesting and empowering even a little bit. But as far as that world, I don't actually know too many girls that have stripped, but I've known a lot of people that did pole dancings, which is completely a different thing because it's more I think they're doing it for sport or hobby and stuff like that. And so that's really all I know about it, but I'm here for it. I'm interested. I feel like I don't have too much of a wall up around the experience. I do feel like it gives me a little bit of an edge. If someone wants me to go, I have felt that resistance of do I want to do that? But not in a more of my own thing, not because I feel I think my own discomfort with it maybe at first comes up, but anytime I've gone, it's been enjoyable, I guess.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think for me, there's been an edge based on which country I'm in, because, and not also just which country I'm in, but also what is the core energy of this particular strip club? Because there are some strip clubs where it definitely feels like the dancers are respected, they're in charge, they get to control what they do and how they show up. And if you can feel that, there's definitely an empowerment with that. I for sure felt that at first I was yeah, I've been to less than 5, but I'm thinking about it. I'm no, I've actually been to more. But there's one in particular that I've gone to multiple times in Cleveland because it had such a good energy. I always felt safe there, first of all. And then I also felt the girls were safe. And that was really important to me because I've been to other ones in other countries where I sort of had this like confused feeling of, are the people here because they want to be here? Or is there something more sinister going on? Is there like actually a force at work here where people are not here on their own accord? And that has always kind of like, if my hair stands on end and I'm like, I don't know if these people are being taken advantage of or not. That's when I definitely feel a wall of like, wait a minute, I am not comfortable supporting an establishment that is not, that the workers are not in charge of their own fate, their own destiny. And so the way that I stand on it is like, I don't really know if ecstatic dancing falls under the umbrella of sex work, which is something that we can, did I say ecstatic? Erotic dancing.
Ecstatic dance.
Ecstatic dancing probably does not fall under sex work, but erotic dancing might. And so it'll be interesting to ask your friend about that.
Yeah.
But also, like, I think sex work is real work. And I think that as long as people are protected and all of it is consensual, I'm completely on board and I have no walls around it because I believe that people should have the autonomy to do what they want with their bodies in a safe environment and a protected environment. However, the place where I start to have a wall around it is when I start to feel like, you know, maybe the power is not in the hands of the people, and that is super not okay with me. And I will always have that like wall around, you know, consent. Is this fully consensual for the workers? And that's where I stand with it.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I agree with you. I think anytime the few times I've gone, actually the one time I remember going with a friend, it was very on a whim during like a Christmas break. Like we were out like meeting up like during college and stuff. And it was just a group of us girls and we're like, we should go to the strip club. It was like a Tuesday night. And so there was nothing going on. We're there in our Christmas sweaters. And so we go into the strip club. There's like 4 other people there. The girls end up having us go on stage and we're just like laughing the whole time. And the girls were laughing. And it was just like, I think it was my first experience with it where to me, it felt like everyone was having fun. But again, you're right. Like, I feel like there have been like, kind of like, oh, this feels a little shady. Like I'm getting kind of like that, wall up or like those goosebumps that are telling me maybe this isn't like the safest place for me to be, or like the girls don't seem like particularly happy. They feel like they're just, you know, like not made, maybe they're made to be there, or like they're like, I wish I wasn't doing this, which it is a job, right? At the end of the day, like sometimes we don't want to be at our job. So I'm really excited to talk with Mo. She's a friend of mine that we recently met in the last year, and she's doing some really incredible stuff when it comes to that world, like exotic dancers and like the culture of like the strip club. So I'll let her really talk more about that. But she's also was a stripper. She DJ'd at a strip club. She worked with lots of dancers. I think not just locally where I am, but I think she's been like around to other like cities and stuff too. So yeah, I'm really excited to bring her on. I think she's like right here at our door. And we will let her
in.
Let's let her in. Perfect. All right. All right, we're here. We're here with Mo. We're here with Natalie. Welcome, Mo. We're excited to have you.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So today we're talking about, as you know, the topic of strip clubs. Are you familiar? Have you heard of them?
So familiar.
Have you been to one?
Oh, have I? I've only been to, I think there's 5 in Buffalo and 1 in Vegas. So I've only ever been to 6.
Okay. So only ones you've like worked at, or like?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to the Colony. That's in Buffalo. I went there. I don't know why I went there, but I won't go back.
We're feeling it. Well, that's actually what we were just talking about before. So me and Natalie were talking about our take on strip clubs right before we jumped on, and like we were saying, like, you know, if the girls are feeling empowered and good, like that's great. But then there are like those vibes that you get, and you're like,
there's something off here. I don't know if this is exactly like the place I want to be, or does anyone want to be here? So I imagine like you've probably felt that.
Yeah, at
Times.
the one that I went to, it was a smoking strip club, and they could smoke
Oh,
cigarettes in there. And I'm just not a fan of being naked and smelling like cigarettes, going home and smelling like cigarettes. So that's just a no for me.
yeah. That's a good boundary to have, I think.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Monisha,
Otherwise,
before we start, sorry, I just wanted to ask, do you prefer to be called a stripper or do you prefer to be called a dancer? Like what would you like us to use?
um, dancer. I like dance because it's a difference between stripper and just being at the strip club.
Okay.
I'm not a stripper no more. I'm just a dancer.
Okay.
Would you consider yourself like an ex stripper though? Like, would that be accurate or not?
I was a stripper at one point in my career, but then I became so stripping is like you just in it for the money. You just go to work and let me just get this money. There's no art behind it. There's no feelings behind it. It's just I'm going to the strip club. But exotic dancing is when you put something into it. You like actually care about what you look like on stage. You care about your appearance, your outfits, your hair, your everything. So I was both. So it really doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a great differentiation because I didn't know the difference actually, like when you're breaking it down like that. So there really is girls will just consider themselves a stripper if they're kind of like, this is my job. I go here, I do my thing, I go home. And then maybe the dancers are more like, this is like a passion. Would you say?
Yeah, they're like, okay, I actually care about making more than $50 a night. Like I'm not here to make $50. I'm here to make $500 to $5,000. This isn't my lifestyle. This is something I'm doing to supplement other things that I want to do. Whereas strippers, this is all that they do. Like when I was a stripper, I worked 16 hours a day at a strip club. Like I will
What?
go in, yes, I will go in from the
Girl.
time they opened until they closed. I'm the last one leaving the building.
Hot damn.
How long did you do that for?
Oh, I did that for way too long. Well, like the days were running together, like they were just bleeding into each other. And I was a
Yeah.
heavy drinker back then.
Mhm.
So I would just wake up in the morning, get ready to go to work, be to work. But before the freaking DJ was there, I was at the door waiting to get let in. Um, Start out real slow, and then by 8 o'clock at night, I'm drinking, I'm eating, I'm talking, I'm still dancing, not tired, just
Wow.
yeah,
That's a
terrible time.
that's a life.
That's,
What
I
what
had no
got
life
you?
outside of that.
Yeah, I could imagine. I mean, that was your life, right? That's like your
Yeah.
social, your work, your food. Sounded
Did
like.
you feel like as you were doing all of that, did you feel like you were in charge though? Like this was your decision, you were making it and you were consciously in it?
I won't say I was consciously in it, but it was my decision to be there all day, every day.
And like, was that like in the beginning of you starting getting into like that world, or like how did you get into that? I don't think I know this. How you got into what was the first baby step or big step or whatever it was, maybe.
So a man actually got me into the stripper clubs. I
Okay.
was living in Vegas and I was dating this guy, and one day he was like, you should probably get into the strip clubs. And I was like, ew, I'll never do that. Like that's such a degrading lifestyle. I would never show my ass for money, right? But then the next time he said it, it was more than a suggestion. It was like, you're going to be a stripper, go to the strip
Mhm.
clubs, basically. He was trying to pimp me out because Vegas is very much pimps and hoes.
Mhm.
Um, so at that point, like I had family in Vegas, but I wasn't really talking to them because I felt alone. Like I didn't want to tell the truth about what was going on in the relationship. It was a very bad relationship, physical abuse and emotional abuse. Um, so when I got into the stripper club, it was just like, oh, I'm here in Vegas, and it moved really, really fast. Like people expected so many things of me because I'm a dancer in Vegas, and I'm guessing the other women in the club were doing other things.
The extras.
Yes. So I would say Vegas, those are strippers. Those are strippers for real. So I think I dealt with that for about maybe a year or so, and I came back home to Buffalo right when the body shop was opening in 2016. Um, I came back home. I told my mom, I was like, I got into it terribly, but I don't want to go to a regular. Like, how can I go to a regular job after that? Like,
Yeah.
I had free time to do whatever I wanted. I could make money or not make money, but it was all on my time. So the body shop opened, I auditioned, and they said yes. So I was like, this is what I'm doing. So I just danced. I wasn't even comfortable though. I'll tell you right now, I was very insecure, very shy, very self-conscious. That's why I was drinking so much alcohol, because the alcohol gave me the confidence that I thought I needed to be in the strip club.
Mm.
But then
Yeah.
when I became conscious about it is when I became a bartender or a bar back. I used to bar back. I used to somebody said something to me one day that really like took me away. I was sitting there in my two-piece and a man comes in the club and he's like, I can talk to you however I want because you're just a stripper. I can say this and I can do this because you're just
Wow.
a stripper and blah blah blah. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. So
Yeah.
I was looking and I saw the bartender had a lot of dishes. It was like a slow Wednesday, but she was piling her dishes up. So I looked at her dishes and I said, you want me to wash these dishes? Because I need to get off this floor. And she said, yeah. So from that moment on, I started washing dishes in my G-string and having a ball behind the bar. And I got to see the club from a different perspective.
Oh, wow. That's really cool. I mean, like, obviously, like, I can imagine people coming in to a place like that and just being like, well, you're the object. Like, you are the thing I'm here just to, like, play with, essentially, and then go home. So, like, you're not a real person. But, like, what a perspective switch that you got from that.
Yeah.
Were you okay with that being the inner dialogue because you were getting paid? Like, how did you justify it in your mind?
It was the first time. Wow. It was the first time I was doing something and I felt like I made the decision to do it. You know, like I tried to say in the beginning, like I wasn't so open with the fact that a man got me into it. So as I continued to do it, I just tried to make it like it was my decision. Like I chose to do this. I want to be here every day. I want to show my body for money. I want to do it. So that's what I kept trying to make myself believe. And then when the deeper I got as the years went on and I saw the kind of women that were coming into the strip club, I'm like, actually, I don't think any of us really just woke up one day and said, hey, I want to be a stripper.
Yeah.
Like, did we decide to do this or did we fall into it? You know? So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, like when I see women like dancing like that, it always looks so empowering to see them like, wow, like they're literally letting people watch them do some of the most intimate like work essentially on a stage, and to have that like it feels like a very big confident thing, I think, as a woman watching it. But I guess like that male gaze is really like is very different than when a man watches something like that, where they're just like, well, keep doing it. Almost, it sounds like you're here to entertain me, rather than like, wow, I'm watching something really powerful and like motivational. Honestly, when I see some like a woman doing such like intricate work, and I'm like, who can do that? That's amazing. Like their bodies are amazing that they can even perform like that. So it sounds like the confidence doesn't really come that way, probably because of like, would you say that is because of like the male perspective being like pushed on them?
Men make dancing feel just ick. Like they are some men aren't terrible, but the majority of the men that come into the clubs are icky. Just icky, just, oh, I'm here for the, oh, what if I give you extra money? oh, can I get you to do this? Oh, how about I meet you when you get off of work? First of all, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, sir. How about not?
Yeah.
Like, leave me alone. I'm going home and I'm going to bed. Okay. I'm
Right.
going to go wash this off. I don't want to be around you after work. But some women, that's why I say there's strippers and then there's exotic dancers, because the stigma is because of the strippers, because the strippers are meeting people after work. They are going on dates with these men to get that extra dime. They are doing things inside of the strip club that they probably shouldn't be doing.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
And I feel like women who do extra inside of the strip club, we're being pressured because, oh, you didn't make any money on stage and now this man is offering you extra money, so now you feel like you have to do something else because your bills are due, your kids do need to eat, you need money for something, right? So when if you are under pressure like that and a man comes to you, some women they don't have the strength to hold out. They give into it because they feel like I have to do it.
I've always wondered about the dynamic within the strip club itself with these little extracurriculars. Do some strip clubs have like more strict rules of like absolutely no, you can't, or is there always like a blind eye being turned?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I've been to clubs where there's a blind eye, and then I've been in clubs where it's like you are fired. Like, okay, actually, it's definitely excuse me, y'all. It's definitely gosh, Giselle, you made me lose my thought. Oh my goodness gracious. Sometimes it depends on the dancer. Sometimes they will allow certain dancers to do extracurriculars because that certain dancer is going to pay the security guard. So it's like, if you're paying somebody to do something you're not supposed to be doing, you can do it. If you're paying somebody, if you're tipping out very well, you can almost do anything you want to do inside of a strip club, which is terrible. It's terrible that security and management half the time don't have morals behind that.
Yeah. And that was another thing I wanted to ask on the other side of that. Did it feel like security was keeping you safe? Or did you have times where you were like, these people are not here to help me at all?
Every time I felt like security was not keeping me safe. Most of the security guards, they are, oh, I work at a strip club, but they'll like do something with a person in the crowd, like if there's an alcoholic, a drunk, but you really have to be, I don't know, like in danger, like real, what they would consider real danger for security to actually really step up, because sometimes they just turn a blind eye to what's going on. You can go to them and tell them, yo, this customer over here is acting crazy, doing something, this, that, and the other. But the customer could be like, cool, like, I don't know. The security won't see what the dancer sees. And security will let that person, oh, they're spending money, they're tipping, they're drinking, so they're okay. It's like, actually they're not okay. Like, they should probably never be they've blocked people, banned people from coming into the club, and then allowed them back in the club. And it's just like, well, why would you ban them if you were going to let them back in? Never felt safe.
So it feels like almost like it's kind of would you say like the root of it is because of like the power and money dynamic of like, well, they have enough money to come in, or they're so and so like they get like a slide into it being okay.
What it is. If you have money, if you are a big spender inside of a strip club, most of the time you are not being watched. They just watching how much money you spend, but otherwise you can do whatever you want inside of the strip club. Now, if you aren't spending money and the girls aren't making money, then people are mad because they know they're not going to get tipped. So
it feels like it's
one girl.
Yeah, it feels like a business inside of a business, inside of a business or something.
Listen, and they all feel like they are entitled to dancers' money. They feel like, because, oh, she made $500 tonight, she should be tipping everybody. Now, sometimes I will agree with that. Sometimes I do agree. I agree. If you make, it is an ecosystem. You keep the money, you circulate the money. If the DJ did a great job, I'm all for tip your DJ, because the DJ kept the show going. They encouraged you on stage. Tip your DJ. If security secured you, if security walks me to my car, if security makes sure I'm safe, I have no problem with giving you a couple of dollars. But I'm not tipping you $50 and $100, sir. At the end of the day, I still have bills to pay. Like,
Yeah.
I had to get up there and shake my ass. You want me to come out of pocket because you see I made $500, so you think I should be tipping that much? No, you see I made $1,000. My bills are $800.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I want to save something.
Yeah, like it sounds like there's like an unsaid rule of because you don't have to tip them out if you didn't want to.
I want to say so. The clubs I worked at, the one I worked at in Vegas, it was a mandatory tip out of your lap dances. They tried to have mandatory tips at some of the clubs in Buffalo, but it can't work like that because girls
Yeah.
will they just won't tip you. They'll lie about what they're making. They just won't get lap dances, and you won't see what money they make.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's how the restaurant industry is. That's what I was asking. I'm like, the only thing I can compare it to is being in the restaurant industry and being a server and, you know, tipping your bartender and the
Yeah.
hostess and all that. And I'm like, what I know, like sometimes it was mandatory that you had to like give them a little extra or like whatever it might be. Like, I don't know, the hostess, you always had to give them a couple bucks or whatever.
So when
So,
I was a bartender, I was when I stopped dancing full time and I would bartend a couple days a week. I was a great bartender. I could sell you almost anything behind that bar. I can get you some. Everybody want to get drunk. Let me get you drunk, and I'm gonna do it in the right way, right? Um, I had this bar back who I would tip throughout the night to just do whatever I needed to do. Like the simplest, not even grabbing liquor. Okay. I would have him do simple things. One day they saw how much money I was making as a bartender. And they were like, oh, you gotta give this much of the percentage to the bar back. And I was like, but why? He barely does his job. Like I'm tipping him throughout the night, one. But
yeah.
if I'm looking for you to grab liquor or grab beer, and I like, why am I looking for you? This is your job, and it should already be stocked. I shouldn't be asking for nothing. I got fired because I said no, I'm not sharing my tips with him.
Wow.
Like absolutely not. Like somebody tipped me $50, I'm supposed to give him some of my $50. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's always a tough thing when you're like, I've been working hard at this. Yeah, maybe you help me a little bit, but like where's the line?
Where's the line? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not stingy either with the money. Let me give you what I feel you deserve. Don't say, oh, you made $1,000 tonight, so I deserve 200 or $300. Actually, you don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Right.
feel like that's the inner workings that I'm not familiar. Like the only thing, like I said, I could compare it to like serving and stuff, but I never realized the intricacy of what like the dancers are tipping out and like how that probably puts them in a good lineup of like, oh, she's gonna go on at prime time because she usually tips and gets good money. I
Mhm.
didn't realize that. I guess so much when it came to like the ecosystem of the strip club. But when was like the first time you saw someone like dance and you were like, wow, that is a dancer over like that is a girl coming in just being a stripper? Like when did you figure out or like what conversation did you have maybe that led you to be like, oh, that was different than you know what I was doing or what I've been seeing for like this whole time?
So I will say the body shop is definitely where I saw most of my talent. The pole artist. The first time I saw somebody get on the pole and actually do so many moves. I mean, like so many moves on the pole. She did more than just shake her ass. She actually engaged with the crowd and put on a performance. You know, she didn't just get up there and shake her ass and show her titties and get naked. Or it's the girls that get on stage and they move really, really slow, like it's sexy, but it's actually not sexy to move that slow. Um, or girls, but they just get up there and they're just like, and then they're moving. But this it's the girls with the smile you could see, or the sultry look on their faces, and they look like they are enjoying their performance. They're enjoying
Mhm.
dancing for other people, and they know they're gonna get paid. Whereas other dancers get on stage, they shake their ass for about 2 minutes, and they think, okay, where's the money? And it's like, well,
Yeah.
you have to give them a reason to come up there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Was that like later, like once you became like more of like a bartender, you started seeing that, or was it when you were still kind of like in the dancing space?
When I was still in the dancing space, I would watch. So I'm a watcher. I learned I'm a voyeur or a voyager or whatever that means.
Voyeur. A
So
voyager. You
I
can
like
probably
to
call
watch.
it that. Why not?
And I would make it my duty to watch every performer that was on the shift with me because I want to see the difference in the women on stage. A lot of women surprisingly dance the same. They get up there, they got two moves, they touch the pole, they walk from the front to the back, and there's nothing exciting about it. There's a few women who get up on stage and I would see them, they would walk with power, they would feel good moving to the music. If you see a girl on stage singing a song, that girl is into it.
Yeah.
She is into it, okay? And that's what I would see. And you can tell by the music that they choose. If they choose music that's just for them, they don't care about anybody inside the club. But if they are playing to the crowd, oh, they definitely care about making some money. Like, and I mean, when I first started dancing, my first set was to a rock set. And I was like, why am I dancing to rock music? Somebody else in the crowd walked up to the stage and said, why are you dancing to rock music? And I was
Yes.
like, they said I had to do it. It was Body Shop was
Mm.
it was a rock music club when I first started there. So
Oh,
you could dance to rock music, old school music, but you couldn't dance to anything new. Like if you go in there
wait,
today, you wouldn't even know.
a rock music strip club?
So it was what, like, pour some sugar on me? Like, are we talking?
Yeah, like
Okay. Well, it's Buffalo. I can imagine the blue collar crowd that
yeah,
drew.
you're true. That's
But
true.
the problem was those weren't the people spending money.
Right.
Like we're playing to a crowd that wants to come in and hear the music and maybe buy a $6 beer and tip you $2.
Right.
But because they said we had to dance to rock music, I would come home, I would listen to rock music, I would make a playlist and pick out the rock songs I could get into. So Pour Some Sugar on Me was definitely one of my songs because I could get in. It's
It's
a
everyone's
sexy
song.
song. Yeah, I could get into
The
that
good
one.
stripper song or dancer
Yeah.
song.
But so like doing that, like if you actually tried to play to your craft, if I saw a room full of white people, I'm definitely trying to play to them. Like, give me some of that old school. Give me some of that old school Mike. Give me some of that Def Leppard. Give me some of it. I'll do what I can do because I want them to tip me. I want them to see that this black girl can do it too.
So funny.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine a rock club. Like I'm picturing like a strip club that plays to rock music. Like what you wore, would you wear like a lot of leather?
No, oh no.
Cowboy boots?
I was very basic. There was a dancer. There was a dancer who did. She wore real costumes. Like she would definitely dress in the scene. And I commend her because I was like, if I gotta dance to rock music, I'm gonna look how I want to look. Okay, I'm gonna look like the sexy stripper that I want to be, not the rock stripper.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us about, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Tell us about your transition, like away from the stripping and into this cabaret feel that you've been going for. I want to hear all about this.
So, because I worked every position in the strip club, I've worked stripper, barback, bartender, waitress, hostess. Last position was a DJ. So I got to experience it from all aspects and from being a customer, right? And I see how the strip club works. And I know it's $1 billion industry, but people they just allow it to be the same way it was 37,000 years ago. And it's never going to die. So why not elevate it? Why not make it a better place, especially for the dancers coming in? If I had me back in the day when I was dancing, if I had the me today back in the day, I would have saved my money. I would have invested my money. I would have made something out of being a dancer instead of just being a dancer and saying, oh, I can dance for 5 to 10 years and then what am I going to do, right? So the concept came because I want to protect dancers. I want to elevate them. I want them to leave the strip club empowered into their next venture, not okay, well now I'm on government assistance and I got these kids and my sugar daddy acting up type. No, you should be able to sustain your own lifestyle.
Yeah.
So, in order to do that, we have to get real money in the door. We have to get real money in the door. And how do you get real money in the door? You change the scene. So my cabaret focuses on people who want to enjoy the strip club but can't go to strip clubs in their town because they are of high status. They have high social status or whatever. So I want to make it an experience more than just you pop up into the strip club and everybody sees you and everybody's on their phones and you can't walk in and just be a person who enjoys this kind of lifestyle. So what did I do? I take it, I call it burlesque, which in terms it is burlesque. If you take the pole out of it, it is very burlesque. We're just dancing with our bodies. We have a couple of props, but they're interacting with the crowd. They're getting off stage. They're walking. First of all, let me stop. In the beginning, you're actually talking to these dancers. You see that they are real women who enjoy doing this kind of work. Not because they have to, but because they want to. They found it. They enjoy it. They want to be in this room. So if you're in this room with them, get to know them and then tip them. And if you want them to come to a private party, book them for that as well. Because these are women who they really care about this art. They really care about dancing. They want to be dancers. But we all know unless you have, I don't know what kind of aging you have. Like me, my knees, I shouldn't be dancing. Okay. I can't, my back hurt. I'm tired. My man wants me home. So I want dancers to know, like, to have that exit strategy. You don't have to do this until you can't do it. You should be able to stop doing it in an adequate amount of time. I think a dancer should dance maybe 5 years, but no more than that, unless you are a featured dancer. And featured dancers get booked in different states, in different countries. We need this entertainer at our next event. Like, we're actually paying her thousands of dollars to come here. If you can get to that level, definitely take advantage of it. But if you are just a regular city dancer, you need to get out of it. You need a platform where you can build your brand, build yourself, get the money you need, invest in a different business or whatever, and get out of the clubs. So that I want to be the exit strategy. If you come in to dance on my stage, we getting you set up to where you can stop dancing. So that's what I
love.
That's what I'm planning.
I love this so much. Like, this is the vibe that I think it's so needed. And it's also something that I think there are a lot of people that would be really eager to support it. Like someone like me, like I really enjoy the artistry of exotic dance. And I really enjoy going to clubs where you can tell the girls are passionate about it and you can tell that they're in charge of their own destiny. And like it's empowering in so many ways. And I would love to support a business that's like that instead of feeling like, ooh, I can't go into this like kind of creepy club, like to have that on where it is more elevated and it's considered more high end and it's considered more like a really like respected patient. I think that's amazing because it should be respected for the art that goes into it.
That's my whole goal, to show the people, to show my community, like, listen, you don't have to be in here throwing money and yelling at these girls. They actually want to work. They actually want to be here. They enjoy doing what they're doing. You don't have to be raunchy and ugly about it. And men, I've heard that, I don't know who I was just talking to, that men make women customers feel skeeved out in the stripper club. So it's like, also, I don't want creepy men just in there watching the show and making the customers feel uncomfortable, because I've actually been in there too, where I was a customer in the strip club and you have these men who come and try to talk to you and push up on you. And it's like, bro, I'm not even the dancer. Like, I'm just trying to support the ladies. So So yes, trying to filtering out the negative, the stigma behind naked women.
You're right though. And I mean, I think even there's not a lot of places where we get to just go and feel like sensual and sexy without it feeling like it has to be like a bar or like I have to go out drinking. And like there's not a lot of places where you can be in like a lounge or some like environment where like my senses are tingled and it not be like, yeah, like maybe there is that aspect of like this is just for men, or like it just feels like maybe this isn't my place to be in. But I feel like what you're creating is like it feels luxurious, but it also I'm being entertained. I don't need to necessarily just like feel like I have to party. I can just like sit back and enjoy, like be the voyeur and be in this like kind of sensory experience where people are moving and dancing. There's like, little conversations happening. There's like just things that are beautiful, like to witness things that are beautiful, I think is really unique, especially for our area being in like the Rust Belt of the United States where there's, I don't know, we don't get like that kind of stuff like maybe Vegas would or like bigger cities do. We just don't have that. We haven't had that quite yet. And so I think to expose people to, hey, we don't have to just go out to like the same bar or, sit at home, watch Netflix. There's other like things that can spark our joy and our sensuality and maybe our sexuality. And that's not a bad thing, right?
It's not a bad. I want everybody to know it's okay. Women who dance for money who are naked. It is so okay to like them and to love them and to watch them. Like we don't have to look at a dancer and be like, ugh. No,
Yeah.
like she chose to be here. She wants to be here. Okay, I won't say she chose to be here. When she continues dancing, hopefully it is her choice to continue dancing. But she doing it for a reason. It's not dancing is not fun. Like it's not like, oh yeah, I'm so excited. No, it's wow, my bills are really due. And I'm trying to most dancers have full-time jobs. Like real life full-time jobs. They have to work. They have to work with their schedule as a strip club, but the strip club is supplementing their regular job because they're no one's getting paid enough.
Yeah.
No one, whether you have a degree or not. There's women in clubs with degrees, like, but they're not getting paid enough to sustain. They want a certain lifestyle. Like I'm a bougie girl. Right now I'm not. But when I was a dancer, I want everything that I want. I want to go to fancy restaurants. I want to go out of town and experience life. And it's like with a regular job, most people cannot experience life in that way. So the strip club is just a supplemental income.
Yeah.
Or it should be. It shouldn't be your life. I tell you right. It was my life at one point. I don't
So
want it to be my life.
would you say that's like a barrier that maybe even strippers should or could have, is like maybe, get into this, but have other things outside of this world because like maybe there's some toxicity or like, what would you say to that? Like a girl that's trying to get into this.
Definitely have a plan. If you go into the club and you think, oh, I'm gonna make this much money. Only new girls make a lot of money. Okay, why? Because she a new face. She cute. She innocent. New girl money is real. Okay, you can walk up in the club, be a new girl for a week, and come out every day with $500 to $1,000 because you're new. And the customers that come into strip clubs are the same customers. They're not new people. They're the same. Like I went scouting for dancers and I haven't danced in years and I started in 2016 and I met a customer in 2016. It's 2026. I go into the strip club. The same customer is frequenting the strip clubs. So the men aren't new. The customers are not new. The dancers are new. So new girl, they be like, oh, new girl, how can I get her? Like the predators when it comes to the new girl. So she makes a lot of money. But once you're in it and you actually see there are dry seasons for the strip club. The summertime is a dry season for strip clubs because if you are a daytime girl, so you're working from noon until 8 or noon until 6, or even if you go in at 4 o'clock, you're not going to make any money because people are outside. They're at the beach. The kids are out of school. They are spending time with their kids, their wives, their families, all of that. Summertime is a dry spell. What are you going to do in the summer? You're just going to hope tomorrow I might make $200. Maybe
Yeah.
somebody's going to come in tonight. Maybe it's too hot outside and people want to be in a strip club. Hope don't pay your bills. So
Yeah,
you
so
have to have something.
that reality is like, it's good to, it's like could be that good supplemental income, but maybe don't put your whole life into it.
How do you feel social media has impacted this? Because there's a lot of dancers who have like big, huge social media followings who make this seem so glamorous. And I'm curious what your thoughts are.
They're liars. They lie.
Yeah.
Except for the one, there is a couple that I follow that tell the truth about it. But to say like, oh, I made all of this money this night and I'm making all of this money in a month, you probably work somewhere where people really have disposable income. You probably work where your managers have a promotions team and they promote the club and they promote the girls. Whereas in Buffalo, I feel like they just kind of started promoting the girls, but they don't promote them to the sense where they're bringing people in. They just piggybacking on what the girls are promoting. They're not actually, you have to, like, we're getting them in the door. No, they're going off of hope too. Oh, it's a strip club. People are going to come. But what is the gag? Why do they want to be here? You know what I mean? People don't just pop up they have to have a reason, right? And if you're not promoting the girls and the brand, if you don't, I feel like there's so many things that strip clubs need in order for money to come in the door. Because you're gonna get people who come in but don't spend money. People who come in and expect something really freaking crazy in order for them to even come out of pocket. And tipping is not even required in the strip clubs. See, me walk in the door, what's your buy-in? Because at the end of the day, you coming in this door, these girls are going to be, I don't care if you only tip one girl, you are going to tip somebody because these dancers showed up. Some of them Ubered here. Some of them had to buy their lunch to get here. They had to buy breakfast. Like, they had to pay for daycare just to come to the strip club. Come here. Come tip us. And people who make exotic dancing seem glamorous on social media, I would hope that somewhere in that glamour, they are telling the truth about what's really, like, you can go a week in the strip club. You could show up 5 days a week and make $100, maybe make $40 in that 5 days because nobody came into the strip club. It could be a Saturday night. I remember right before COVID happened, it was right around St. Patrick's Day. It was a Saturday night. I was DJing and we tried to, it was mad girls in the club, but nobody made money. Nobody came into the strip club and it was a empty night from start. I started at 8. We closed at 4. It was an empty night. Nobody showed up. You know what I mean? So to say, oh, I'm making all of this money as a dancer. Was it a good day? Was it a good week? What month was it in? Tell us what month you made that money, because winter could be really good. Winter is a really good time. Everybody is stuck in the house. Let's go to the stripper clubs. Summertime, you're not making the money. Not for real. It's tough. It's tough seasons. On seasons, off seasons. Especially holiday seasons. It's tough.
I mean, I was just like back, like going to your cabaret, like it was such a like unique experience. I think that like I love that you had it so that the women, like that people did get these like where you had it like everyone got coins so they could tip the girls, and it felt like empowering to tip them too, where it wasn't like, I feel like I would be intimidated, but like I have to put a dollar somewhere, put it on stage, because like I've gone to like even I feel like drag shows are kind of similar, right? When they go and they're like, I have my dollar out to give them or like whatever. I always felt really intimidated by doing that. I'm like, what if I do it wrong? Handing it to them or something. So I really like that you had it where it's like you could give that to them, but you could also, she had like boxes on the tables, so then each girl as she's dancing, you could just put your money in that, and it felt like kind of like this sexy discreet kind of thing. And also like their cash apps were there, so like you could pay them directly because you're just like enjoying the experience without having to feel like I have to like also be, you know, handing them a dollar bill or like whatever, is this enough, or like I don't know, you might have that stuff come up. And I'll say too to that, like it was cool because it was so many women in the crowd, which was really cool, because I was like, I didn't realize so many women would enjoy this experience around other women. And I remember leaving and I'm like, I feel so empowered because I talked to other women about how we enjoyed like watching this together. And that was really cool. And I noticed even at the end of the night, women buying like lap dances or extra dances from the girls. And I'm like, I've never even thought that like the girls were gonna get lap dances, like other women are gonna like buy lap dances as much as they did. And so it just shows that like if you create something like this, women will show up and like they are interested in this kind of stuff, you know? Like I think women have that curiosity for this stuff. It's just creating the right environment. And like what you're doing is creating the right environment for women to be able to be like, I actually really like this, and it's probably gonna like do a lot of other things in my life, being in a sexy, sensual, empowering environment. So I just wanted to like leave on that note too, because like what you're creating is so different than what like we just were talking about, of women being like, I'm coming in and trying to make sure I'm going to get that money, or I'm going to like, you know, feel safe, or like the same customers aren't going to be here or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually it behind it, because exotic dancers are expensive. I totally understand their pricing for events and everything, and they need guaranteed money. I would come here. Come on. They need to make sure that, okay, I'm not wasting 4 hours dancing and I'm not making anything. And outfits, shoes, getting your hair done, keeping up your appearance to be a dancer is expensive. And it is necessary because, so I'm a natural woman these days. I don't do the makeup and the hair I'm cool. I'm comfortable. I could not be this comfortable inside of the strip club because people aren't looking for regular women. They are looking for a fantasy. They are looking for somebody who dressed it up. They want somebody outside of the people they see every day. So you have to keep up on your appearance. And same like gym memberships. You have to make sure you're going to the gym, you're working out, you're eating right in order to maintain a certain aesthetic for people in the strip club. And you could be a thicker woman, but you have to be a thicker woman who is attractive. You can't just be my 600-pound life in stripper clubs. So it takes a lot to be a dancer and working on your so I suffer from depression, and the alcohol wasn't helping, obviously, you know what I mean. But people expect you to drink. If you say no to a drink in the strip club, it is wild. You get the people, when I tried to stop multiple times, tried to stop drinking. No, guys, I'm fine. I don't want to drink. You sure? Take this shot. You want this shot? Let's take a shot. You sure? I want to buy you a drink. Let me buy you a drink. Buy me a water. Actually, matter of fact, give me the money you were going to spend on that drink, because I could use it as a tip. And people are so offended by that. Like, they just want you drunk. They just want you drunk and drinking, and they think that drinking makes you more fun. And it's like, actually, you're ruining my mental health. And when I leave here, I'm going to feel like I'm missing something, and I'm going to be sad once I'm sober. Please stop making me drink. Stop asking me to drink, because I'm going to drink because I'm in this environment and I really don't want to. Support the fact that I'm trying to stop in this environment.
Yeah.
It took a lot for me to stop getting belligerently drunk. It took a lot for me to stop. And I'm telling you, I don't know how I'm here today, but I thank you for me being here today, because we get into these personalities for people inside the strip club. I commend women who don't drink while they dance. I commend women who don't do drugs while they dance, because it is tough. And if you have like I had a personality where you could definitely pressure me into doing some drinking. You challenge me, I drank 10 fireball shots in a row. I mean, like, somebody bought me a tray of shots and I drank
Girl.
10 of them. Girl.
Oh man, even in my best of days, I don't know if I could do that. That's crazy.
Listen, once tequila started getting popular, now I'm drinking tequila, and oh my goodness, I would drink the whole bar in one night. And terrible time. It was a terrible time, but I did it because I'm in this environment that makes you feel like, in order to have fun, in order for people to tip you and be interested in you, you have to drink with them. It's like, bro, I really don't want to. Like, even as a DJ, surprisingly too, even as a DJ, my last DJing gig. Oh, what can I get the DJ? Let me get the DJ a drink. No, I'm cool. Like, I actually don't want to drink anything. You can give me a water. You could tip me.
Yeah.
And they think buying water in the strip club is so like, oh, you want water?
Yeah.
I'm thirsty.
I'm working hard over here. I need to hydrate.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing that you're taking, you know, these like negative experiences that you've had and you're working on changing the industry so that it can be better for other people and that other dancers can have a good experience, like in, as Jill was saying, you know, the safety of this sort of cabaret, the safety of other women who are there to like support them and things like that. And that's really, really cool. Where can we find you? Like if we wanted to, do you have social media for your project or a website?
I do. On Facebook, I am Monisha Groff, but there's also Cabaret Nights, a Facebook page. And I have Instagram, Instagram is Cabaret Nights. Instagram is Cabaret Nights.
Cabaret Nights. Cool. I'm definitely going to try to stop by next time I'm in Buffalo. I'm going to make a trip to the US this summer, and hopefully there's some overlap with the events. That's something I'd really like to see.
Yeah, it's gonna be beautiful time.
And when is your next event? This is probably going to come out in just like another week or so. So do you have an event coming up anytime soon?
Yes, the next event is May 16th, and it's at the Mahogany event venue. So different this time. It's a masquerade.
Ooh. Masquerade. Oopsala.
Yes, it's a masquerade. No face, no case. I really want it to be. I want to create spaces and events where it's discreet, so people who do have money want to come. That's why my pricing is the way it is, because I want the people who have the disposable income and enjoy this and want to spend money on this. It's an experience.
Mm-hmm. We always like to say it's not expensive, it's expansive. Because when you go into things that are like a little like edgy like that, it's like it is really expanding me to like want to invest in something that feels a little edgy and it's fun.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, thank you so much, Mo. I'm so happy to have you. So Nat, I guess we have to do a quick cap though. Like, where are we feeling? Where's our wall? At the end of this, we like to do how did we start by when we walked in this today of like, how did we feel about strip clubs? Like, did we have a wall up around them? Was there like not a wall? There's a door. And then at the end, we like to just kind of cap it off with like how we're feeling now about the experience or topic.
Yeah, I think for me, like I am even feeling stronger from what I felt at the beginning of this episode, which is I think I'm feeling maybe even more of a wall around the places where it feels like the girls aren't necessarily there by choice, or they're there, but they're not really in it, versus feeling extremely open to spaces like a cabaret, like a burlesque, where it is about the artistry of the dance and the women are showing up empowered and doing something that like they truly enjoy. So that's where I stand with it. What about you, Jill?
Yeah, I feel very similar. I think it is like I still have that wall of like it feels challenging to know like if a woman feels empowered there until you're in the environment, right? So like I still feel like I haven't found that place, at least besides the cabaret that you created. I don't know that I've really been in a strip club where I'm like, wow, maybe all the girls are feeling like as empowered as I thought maybe they were. And so I don't think I would shy away from going to one necessarily, but being a little bit more aware of like the surroundings a little bit, or like paying attention to not just everyone on stage, but like all the other people that bring like in the ecosystem essentially too. So I think I have like, I don't know if it's necessarily a wall up around it, but I feel like there's like caution tape. Like proceed with caution. I'm okay with being here, but also really just being aware of what else could be happening in those environments. So,
and I would say continue to proceed with caution, because and be mindful in that space, because the women in there, they did choose to be there that day. They are there that day to perform. They aren't there just because, oh, I have nothing else to do. No, I came here because I need to be here today, and I want people to know that if you see a dancer in a club, she has to be here. Today was a day she needed to come. If you see her every time you go there, oh, this girl really got to make some money.
Yeah, really taking a different look at it. It's good to see this perspective, to be honest. And because I think any of us that haven't been in that industry, if you never even, I feel like the closest thing I have is like waitressing, right? And like that's not even close to this is. But I feel like when you're in that industry or have that experience, you really look at the world from a different lens. And so it's really nice to get a really in-depth perspective from someone that's been in all of it and is creating like a new industry that I think is going to be very powerful going forward. So, well, thank you guys. This is another episode of Breaking Down Walls.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Next time.